In this video, we'll be discussing urological malignancies. All the stagings which I'll be discussing in this video are taken from the 27th edition of Bailey and Love. First, we look at the kidney. This beautiful diagram has been taken from Bailey and Love, where there are 4 stages of kidney cancer. So, stage 1 is the tumor is less than 7 centimeters in size. The tumor is less than 7 centimeters in size. It is confined to the kidney. As you can see, this tumor over here, it is confined to the kidney, and the size is anywhere up to 7 centimeters. Stage 2 is the tumor is confined to the kidney only, but it is more than 7 centimeters in size. Stage 3 is that the tumor can be of any size, but the key feature is that it does not invade the Gerota's fascia. Secondly, you can see this yellow thing over here. So there is a tumor invasion in the main renal vein. I'll erase the previous things to make it simple. So this is the tumor. It is of any size. It does not involve the Gerota's fascia. It can invade the renal vein, and it can also be in the lymph nodes. Stage 3 is tumor in the major veins or adrenal gland with intact Gerota's fascia, or regional lymph nodes are involved. Now, as soon as a tumor, it invades the Gerota's fascia, as in this tumor over here, it is invading the Gerota's fascia. Once it invades the Gerota's fascia, it is called a stage 4 tumor. Now, we'll be discussing the carcinoma of urinary bladder. Now, to understand the staging of urinary bladder, let us first look at the histological structure. Now, the epithelium of the bladder is lined by something called urothelium. This urothelium, it consists of the basal layer has a cuboidal or a columnar lining, and on top of this are the polyhedral cells, of which are umbrella shaped. Now these cuboidal cells, they rest on a basement membrane. Just below the basement membrane is the lamina propria. Beneath that is the submucosa, which consists of loose areolar tissue. The submucosa is characteristically absent in the trigone of the bladder. So in the trigone, the epithelium rests directly on the muscular layer. Now this is the muscular layer. It consists of 3 layers: outer longitudinal, middle circular, and inner longitudinal. This is in contrast to the muscular layers of the intestine, where it is outer longitudinal and inner circular. And outside the muscle layer is the serosa. Now let us look at the staging. Let us look at a few terminology of the staging. PTA means pathological TA. It means it does not invade the lamina propria. PT1 means it invades the lamina propria. PT2 means it invades the muscle. PT3 is a mass is palpable bimanually at the end of the procedure. So after we do a procedure for the CA urinary bladder, we palpate the bladder bimanually. So in women, it is 2 fingers are placed in the vagina and 1 hand is on the abdomen. In men, a finger is there in the rectum and the other hand on the abdomen. So this is how bimanual palpation is done. PT4A means it invades the prostate or the vagina, both of which are nearby structures. PT4B means it is fixed to the lateral or pelvic side wall. There are 3 grades to the staging of carcinoma bladder. G1 is low grade, which means it is well differentiated. These obviously have a good prognosis. G2 is medium grade, which is moderately differentiated. And G3 is high grade, which is poorly differentiated. And like all other poorly differentiated tumors, this has a poor prognosis. Now, carcinoma urinary bladder is of 3 main types. The bulk of it, the most common, 70% of it is non-muscle invasive, 25% is muscle invasive, and 5% is flat non-invasive CIS, that is primary carcinoma in situ. Now, non-muscle invasive is PTA and PT1. This is again divided into a low risk and a high risk. Low risk is PTA. Low risk is it has a very low risk of progressing to a higher stage. This constitutes the well-differentiated bladder tumors. Well-differentiated, so will be G1, PTA. High risk is PT1. These are poorly differentiated, that is grade 3, G3. These progress very quickly and they have a higher proclivity to progress This is why we require follow-up and aggressive treatment. The second most common carcinoma is the muscle invasive, which is also called PT2. This shows local invasion and distant mets. The least common is a subtype called flat non-invasive carcinoma in situ, which is also called primary carcinoma in situ. This requires prompt treatment, otherwise it has a poor prognosis. Next, we'll be discussing carcinoma of the prostate. Now, carcinoma of the prostate is fairly simple. This beautiful image is taken from Bailey and Love. T0 means there is no tumor. T1 means there is an occult tumor. I'll be discussing this shortly. T2 means there's a palpable tumor. That means when you do a digital rectal examination, this tumor is palpable. P2A means it is in one lobe. P2B means it is in both lobes. But you should note that this tumor is present within the prostate and it does not involve the capsule of the prostate gland. T3, as you can see, this tumor has invaded the capsule. It can either be unilateral, even this tumor, supposing there's a tumor like this, and there's one more on another tumor. There's one tumor which has both this and this, both on the right and on the left. This is also called T3. So this is unilateral and this is bilateral. T4 means it is either fixed to surrounding tissue or it has invaded surrounding tissue. Now let us look at these in detail. T1 means an occult prostate cancer. These are incidentally found tumors in a clinically benign prostatectomy specimen. For example, if we do a TERP for BPH and we send the prostatic chips for histopath, the pathologist reports comes back as some of those chips contain CA prostate. That is called T1 because we're not able to palpate it, and that is occult cancer prostate. Now this again has three subtypes. T1A means it involves less than 5% of the resected specimen. It can be well or it can be moderately differentiated. T1B means it is more than 5% of the resected specimen. T1C is they are impalpable tumors like T1 and TB, but they have an increased PSA. This increased PSA is not a part of T1A and T1B. T1A and T1B, as you've seen, has no mention of PSA. T1C has a mention of PSA. T2 means a palpable tumor. When we do a digital rectal examination, the tumor is palpable. So T2A means one lobe. T2B means both lobes. T3 means it extends through the capsule. It can be unilateral or it can be bilateral. T3A is extends through the capsule. T3B, now there is an organ which is very, very close to the prostate gland, which is why it is given prime importance in the staging. This is the seminal vesicles. If the tumor extends to the seminal vesicles, so supposing this is the tumor and it were to extend to the seminal vesicles, it is called T3B. I'll draw it again for convenience. So this tumor involved starts over here and it goes up to the seminal vesicles. This is 3B. T4 means it invades, look carefully, it invades or it is fixed to the adjacent structures other than the seminal vesicles. For example, the rectum or the pelvic side wall. Now, the rectum is surrounded by fascia which is extremely thick and tenacious. This rectal fascia, it prevents the invasion of the rectum by the CA prostate, even though the rectum is situated adjacent to the prostate. So by virtue of this fascia, the rectum is not involved. Basically what I'm trying to say is that the tumor of the prostate, the carcinoma of prostate, can be fixed to the rectal fascia, or it can invade another structure like, say, for example, the bladder or the vagina. That is called T4. Now penis. This diagram is taken from Bailey and Love. You can see the layers of the penis over here. This is the skin of the penis, and you can see the facial layers over here. So you'll have the superficial Colles fascia, the deep buccal fascia. This purple structure which you can see over here is the corpus spongiosum, which contains the urethra. This is the corpus spongiosum surrounding the urethra. And this is the glans, this is the dorsal vein. Now this diagram makes it more clear. So this is the corpora cavernosa. There are two corpora cavernosa, and this is the corpus spongiosum. Now, how I remember it is S for spongiosum and S for single, because the urethra is single. So the urethra is present in that cavernosa, that structure. It is not present in the cavernosa, I'm sorry. The urethra is present in that structure, it is single. So S for single urethra, S for spongiosum. And the cavernosa are the structures which help in the erection of the penis. This is the same thing. So you have the corpora cavernosa, you have the corpus spongiosum, and you have the skin and the facial layers, superficial Colles fascia and the deep buccal fascia. This is another diagram from Grace, just to make it clear. So this structure that you can see over here is the urethra. The urethra is surrounded by these blue dots that you can see. This is the corpus spongiosum, and these two are the corpora cavernosa. Now a T1 tumor is a tumor which is confined to the skin of the penis. A T2 tumor invades either of the corpus structures. So it is either corpus spongiosum or corpus cavernosum. Once these structures are involved, it is called T2. T3 is when it invades the urethra. T4 is when it invades the adjacent structures. The end staging is very simple. N1 and N2 means inguinal lymph nodes are involved. N3 is iliac nodes are involved. Carcinoma testis. Now this is an old staging which is given in Bailey and Love, and it is used in the management of C8 testis. Stage 1 is tumor is confined to the testis and the epididymis. So supposing if this is the testis, we have a structure here. This is the epididymis, which then forms the vas deferens. So if the tumor is confined, I'll use a different color for the tumor. If this is the tumor which is confined to the testis or to the seminal vesicles, it is stage 1. Stage 2 is it involves the nodes, but all the nodes are below the diaphragm. Stage 3 is the nodes are involved, but it is above the diaphragm. Stage 4 is it is non-lymphatic mets. It could be a hematogenous mets when it goes to the lungs, where we get a cannonball mets. Thank you.